All right, so here we are. It is Monday morning. It is the start of an amazing week. I don't know about you guys, but it's so exciting. Who's with me when it's like new day? You're so excited. You're like, oh, I get to create whatever I want to. It's so amazing, right? Blank slate. All of us, many of us have our morning routine. We journal, we write, we set goals, whatever. I don't set goals. I talk about that all the time. But excuse me. Here we are, and I have been writing about, journaling about, meditating on certain things. And one of the things that I've really been working through and on and been receiving information about is this idea and this language, like the power of our language and the power of our thoughts, but really specifically this language that I am the creator. I am the creator of my reality. But yeah, I want to talk about why I have decided to even ditch that language that I am the creator of my reality and actually upgrade it, change it, and here's why. So here's the thing. I was, I have come from the personal development work, the high achievement world, the high performance world, and we are taught and we are programmed to say all the time, you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. And so there's a couple good things that came out of that. Number one, I think, you can't be a victim in that state, right? You're like, I take full responsibility. I take radical ownership for that. Absolutely. I am the creator of my reality. I make shit happen, right? So what's great about that stage, I'm going to call it, what's great about that is the acknowledgement that, like, it's up to you in a way, right? You have the power. You are empowered to take action, to choose your thoughts, to choose whatever. So that was really good, right? That was something that was good out of it. I am empowered to know that I'm not a victim. I do have the ability, I have the power to create. And at the end of the day, like, we're all artists. We're all painting this canvas called life, right? But I really want to talk about why using that language, so that the benefit is, like, it made me create, it put me in action mode a lot of the time, right? But here's the thing that I noticed is that, for me anyways, after years and years of like hammering that into myself, affirmation, incantations, writing goals all the time, I'm the creator of my reality, I'm the creator of my reality, what I realized is that this pressure that we create, we do create our own reality. What we also create is a shit ton of pressure that says, I'm the creator of the reality. So every single thing that's happening to me, for me, around me is like, I'm responsible for it, and it's my fault, and it's this, and I made it happen. And so we kind of we can easily go into this place where we have to be creating all the time, or we have to be on all the time, because otherwise we think we're not creating, right? We're not moving forward. We're not progressing, because we're like, I just can't sit around. I can't rest. I'm the creator of my reality. I got to be in creation mode 24/7. And we mistake that for being in action mode 24/7. And I don't know about any of you, but for me, it became like a big pressure cooker over time where I could not rest. And I'm going to just put this out there. I bet you it took me 12 months, a whole year, to train myself on how to relax. I shit you not. I could not relax. I didn't know how. Even my kids said, Mom, you never could relax. You always had to be moving. You always had to be going. You always had to be in action. Because I was like, I am the creator of my reality. So yes, we are in some way. And I'm going to talk about why I changed that language and what you can do instead if you want to, if it resonates with you. Here's the other thing it did, is all of this like manifestation talk. And I'm going to tap into this idea of manifestation, because I've also talked about it in the past. We imply, when we say I am the creator of my reality, we imply I am the creator, which means I am God, or I am a god, a goddess. And yeah, I went through a little bit of that season for a while where I got disoriented and I got distracted and I got kind of sucked in. It's like a riptide. You're swimming in the ocean and all of a sudden you go, holy moly, what happened? And you get kind of pulled away, but you're like, you realize it's hard over there and you're constantly like trying to manifest the next thing. And so what happens is we get this idea, this illusion that we actually are a God. We are God. We try to play God. And that's a lot of pressure. Like God, that's a lot. God can move a lot of mountains and we can do a lot. But I really believe, like, I am not God and I am not a God. I am a reflection of God. I am a reflection of the divine. I'm a vessel and a host for the divine to do incredible magic and miracles on this earth through me, because we're a channel, right? We're like a vessel. And I talk about that a lot. It's like the cable wiring, and we're like, this body allows us to have this amazing experience. So yeah, I'm like, when you're holding a paintbrush and you're creating, there's something flowing through you that is inspiration. It's like the spirit of the divine that's flowing through you. And that's why you just like, you create things that are, yes, you end up being, in the creative process, but the stuff that's flowing through you, it's coming from somewhere, right? It's not just coming like, it's not just like you've been holding on to it. It's like you open the gateway and all of a sudden it's like stuff starts coming through you. So what I want to invite us instead to maybe consider, and the thing that I have been realizing, is I am not the creator. I am the cultivator. I am a cultivator of everything that I desire. If there's a desire placed in my heart, I am here to cultivate that desire, just like you would cultivate the land. You cultivate, right? I'm cultivating peace in my home. I'm cultivating more love and understanding in my relationships. I'm cultivating a better knowledge of discernment. I'm cultivating more wisdom. I'm cultivating better communities. I'm cultivating. You're literally like working the land. You're working the resources. I'm not the resource. Like, yeah, energy, my body is a resource, but the creator of all resources, all things, resources are everywhere. They're abundant all around us. If I can become a channel that's open to receiving these beautiful resources that are already available and allow them to flow through me, and I just keep cultivating and cultivating, and I become a wise steward of that, it's so beautiful. Like this garden starts growing, right? And things start to multiply around me because I am cultivating. And so what happened is, my focus is on watering, giving life to, right? When we cultivate something, we give water to it. And by the way, water is also the feminine element, right? There's nourishment. There's nurturing, there's nourishment. I give it attention, I give it focus, but it's from a place of love, from a desire to watch it grow patiently, right? I come from a place of, what else do you do when you're cultivating? If you guys are listening to this, comment below. When we're cultivating the land, the garden. By the way, we're cultivating these bodies. We're cultivating our homes, our kingdoms, our homes. We're cultivating in our business. We're also cultivating on this planet Earth. And as a great cultivator, right? I'm watering, I'm nourishing, I'm pouring love into. I'm coming from a place of like, yes, I'm here to watch this thing grow. I'm here to add more, right? And there's also, when we cultivate something, we're removing the weeds. We're removing the things that are getting in the way to suffocate creation. But here's what happens is when we think, and I don't know, this is just for me. So when I say we, I'm talking about me. What I noticed is that when I'm like, I'm the creator, I was standing over my garden like, how long till you grow? How long? And what happened was I wasn't cultivating. What I was doing is I was trying to force many times for many years. Yeah, I was trying to force those flowers to pop up, those projects to expand, those connections to be made, the love to, like right away, the love had to be amazing, instead of cultivating love in my heart as a woman for my partner, cultivating deeper levels of understanding in my relationship. Instead, I was like, why isn't the relationship wonderful right now? Like, what's wrong with you? And what it was, it's like standing over a garden, sitting there going like, what's wrong with these plants? They're not growing. What's wrong with these flowers? Clearly, you know what? I'm going to pour even more water. And we start pouring water, but not from a place of love and balance and knowing how much is enough. We start trying to force. And what we do is we drown. We drown, we suffocate, right? Our creation, we suffocate our relationship, right? We put too much, we're always on it. And I want you to think about where you're doing this in your work, in your business, in with your children. I have 3 teenagers. Oh my gosh, and I've been really called to check in with myself on this. It's like, am I constantly, still mothering, like over mothering, over like trying to be too many fingers in the pie, right? Like I need to know everything. No, pull back. You have to know when enough is enough. And there's also this idea of like, oh, it's all light, light, light. You know, I'm the creator of my reality. Everything is just sunshine all the time. Well, I tell you, too much heat, too much sun burns things out too. Like, I must be willing to go deep into those roots, to pull nourishment out of the earth. And this is when I talk about depth, and I'm cultivating depth and I'm cultivating richness. It's like those roots are going deeper into the soil and they're pulling the minerals out. That's why soil is so key. I'm not a farmer, but if any of you guys are here on the ag industry, because I know my love is from that industry, like, you know what I'm talking about. The richness of the soil matters. The richness of the depth that is in you matters. Are you cultivating the depth of who you are, the character of who you are? Are you cultivating that are you going into the depths of your emotions and your feelings and your desires and your calling? And go, you know, what am I really being called to step up to and cultivate more of in my relationship with my husband, with my wife, with my children? If that feels scary as, right? Start celebrating, because wherever you are scared, wherever you are terrified is where you're being called to go, right? There is a thing when you know, and you know that you have a desire that's been placed on your heart to go to be something, and you will not honor the desire that God has placed in your heart, and you know that you would not have that desire unless the path was already there for you. But we have this thing called free will, and we get to say yes or we get to say no, because God never forces. You know, God doesn't come and rip you and say, you're coming with me. The divine doesn't work that way. You get to be inspired. You get to feel that desire in your heart, but you must acknowledge, we must say yes. And then we get to cultivate the richness, right? The cultivate, and we say yes. So I really, started to shift away from this language of I'm the creator of my reality to say, no, I'm cultivating the soil that's in my heart. I'm cultivating my heart. I'm cultivating a deeper relationship with my God. I'm cultivating better relationships, more intimacy, more peace in my home. You guys, I was just in here walking around my house, cultivating peace in my home. And so really, it's such a beautiful transition, because when we do that, now I can ask myself a better question, which is, where am I overextending, over mothering, over giving to my business, my family, my kids? Not from a sense of like I'm giving because I'm in a place where I want to give love and I'm excited about serving my clients, my team, my business, but I'm doing it because I'm frustrated, impatient that I'm not getting what I want. So I'm trying to force it faster. You can't force creation because it's organic, and we get to cultivate trust in its divine time. And that has been a great challenge, right? Especially for those of us who are impatient. Stefania is on here. She's one of my mentors, and she called us out on that not long ago, is where are we being impatient? Where are we in this waiting energy, right? I'm waiting for this plant to come up. I'm waiting for this thing to be birthed, and I'm just like trying to push it out, versus being patient, cultivating patience. So, where are you over? And you cannot step away from your business. You stop nagging your partner, or thinking about the things, or bitching at your kids, or worrying about what's happening in 2021, because you're just like in there. It's time to cultivate more trust, cultivate more understanding, cultivate a bigger picture, right? Instead of saying, I'm the creator of my reality. Holy shit, I got to make things happen right now. God, what's going on? Right? We literally like cut off the connection to the divine when we think we are the one. Like, we cut it off. And God's like, whoa, well, it looks like you got this handled. You don't need me. Good luck with that. And I don't know about you guys, but I have had that experience where I'm like, I got this, until I don't. And then I'm on my knees crying, going, please, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Help. And here's the thing, I'm going to go back to that place of richness, is that, this whole thing about everything's just love and light and rainbows and fun. And, it's just like mantras and singing, and like everything feels warm and fuzzy. That is not how richness and like beautiful creation flows. There's depth. I tell you, because when the shit hits the fan, in your relationship or in your health or whatever, people drop to their knees. They want something that has solidity, that has structure, that has certainty, that has depth. They want to feel a rock. I want to feel a rock. I don't want to feel something fluffy. And I've been there as a woman many times, as a single mom, not knowing how I was going to feed my kids when I first started my business. Not knowing how am I going to feed my kids. God, I had no money for rent. You know, I had no money for rent. I was in a really terrible divorce. I've said this story many times. I ended up selling my wedding ring to pay for, the money to open my business, first and last month's rent. I used that money to start my business instead of pay my rent at home. But in those moments where I was like, oh my gosh, and I've had so many of them, and I know you have too, I wanted structure. I wanted strength. I wanted to know that somebody got me, that there was like this rock of foundation underneath. I wasn't looking for something fluffy, little light and love, quick fix that felt good for the moment. I was looking for depth. And I'm so grateful that these seeds have been planted over and over and over in my life, and I keep going back to them and I keep cultivating them. And so I wanted to just jump on here real quick, you guys, and just talk about, where are we playing God? Where are we saying, like, still, I am the creator of my reality? And maybe that's still serving you. But if you've hit a point where just saying that over and over and over again is creating this incredible amount of pressure for you, and you are feeling like this burden and weight on your shoulders, that's like, I don't know how I can keep creating at this pace. Like, this is not sustainable. This thing that I'm doing, as much as it's hard, it's forced. I would invite you to start to shift into becoming a cultivator. And the best example I can give is really utilizing that this earth is our garden, people. Like, this earth is our garden. And all we have to do is really look at creation. It's so beautiful. You can't stand over a tree and stare at it and make it grow any faster, right? And I was on a hike the other day with a client of mine, and I said, that bird that's in the egg, is he like, I'm not a bird yet, I'm not a bird yet, I can't fly, I can't? Is he stressed? Is he anxious? It's like, no, he just knows he's a bird. Like, he just is a bird. He's just being in the egg, allowing creation to happen. And then when it's time, he will fly, she will fly, whatever, right? It's like, can I just be in the creative process? Can I be a vessel of this beautiful creative process and just keep removing the weeds that are getting in the way? And by the way, if you don't know what the weeds are, what are all those limiting factors, all of the places you try to force, the resistance in your life, everywhere that it feels hard, those are weeds. Thoughts in your mind that you have been giving energy and attention to and feeding, the hardness in your heart, the lies in your heart that you have been buying, that I can't trust this person, people are out to screw you over, the world's a shit show right now, and you shift into a closed shell, hardened armor. Those are weeds. We got to pluck those. We got to remove them from your mind, from your heart, from your body, right? From your atmosphere. There's weeds in your home, I guarantee it. There's weeds in your business. There's weeds in your mind, your heart, your body, your atmosphere. And when I say atmosphere, it's your energetic field, but it extends it extends beyond just like this room. So some things to think about today, and I just wrote some notes. I wrote in my journal today, so I'm just sharing a little bit from here, is that I must cultivate that which I desire to see and enjoy within myself and others. After all, what good is a garden if I don't have anybody to share it with, right? Like, I'm here to cultivate this beautiful life so that I can share this beautiful experience with other people. So yes, what I'm in charge of is what thoughts I'm cultivating, what emotions I'm giving more of myself, more of my energy to. What am I allowing into my portals, which are my eyes, your portals, right? Where you are allowing weeds access to your life is your eyes. What are you feeding yourself, your spirit, through your eyes, that you're watching, that you're reading, that you're receiving through your ear portals, right? What are you listening to? What kind of music? What kind of language? What are you tuning into? Because everything is energy and everything is affecting you, and everything affects you. Everything is cultivating something. It's either a garden of weeds or a beautiful garden that's prospering. And you don't have to do a lot of work, really. Like, we get to be intentional. What are you sticking in your mouth portal, right? How are you breathing? Are you breathing in fresh air? Are you breathing in oxygen? Are you nourishing your body? Like, think about, we have so many portals here, where we are in receivership. And anything that comes into us is assisting in creating whatever reality we are experiencing. So yeah, in a way, you are the creator, but what you're doing is you're really allowing creation to flow through you. So if you don't like what you see, stop being the portal for that trash to come into your life and multiply, because it has to go through you in order to multiply outside of you. Does that make sense? So many great things. Great analogy. Gotta also pull the weeds. Yes, Craig, we gotta pull the weeds, right? So what weeds have been showing up in your life? And yeah, Kevin, our diet is so key. Our diet is so key. What we are drinking, what we are eating. I mean, if we're eating dead food and we're eating dead edible things, that's deadness. We're not putting life into our body. You know, it's like trying to pour really crappy soil on your garden and you just keep pushing more on and there's no nutrients in the soil. You know, what creation grows out is going to either be sick, is going to be weak, it's not going to have a lot of nutrient density, right? Yeah. So think about this. I'm just tuning into if there's anything else I wanted to add. But you know, another way to look at this real quick, and then I'm going to jump off is, you know, the ingredients, the resources are out there are like ingredients: time, energy, money, connections, relationships, information. Everything is information that carries energy and frequency, right? It's just information. People get attached to the meaning of it, and then that's what gets created through them. But resources are out there, and they're like ingredients. Ingredients are not good or bad. They just are. They're just out there, right? So I want you to think about every single book here. Like, these are ingredients. Everything that I'm reading is an ingredient. Every thought is an ingredient. But I'm here to bake a cake. I'm here to make something awesome that is delicious, that tastes good, that I want to eat, that I want to share, that nourishes people. Well, just like those ingredients, it's up to me how I put them together, right? How I bake my cake. So quality ingredients, there's all kinds of resources floating around. We get to tune in. Okay, this is my garden. This is what I'm creating. What kind of soil do I want to use? What kind of things do I want to plant here? What kind of water? Am I going to use water that's also mineral rich, right? Or am I going to pull toxic water? What kind of ingredients are you calling in and opening yourself up through all of your different portals? Because those are the base. Those are the foundation for what you're about to create, you know, allow to flow through you, and that what the creation will look like that you've been cultivating. You know, some people have the most beautiful gardens and some people have the most sad looking gardens. Right? But here's what I think is important is as we do this, we get to have direction on how to put these ingredients in order. If I am here to bake a cake and I have all these ingredients out on the counter and I'm like, okay, go, and everyone's doing it their own way, well, you know, what if you put them all in at the same time and just mix them? You know, the how and the timing, how, the order, the structure, the process, and the timing, when, how long it needs to cook. To me, that is information that I need from a really amazing source. And the better the source, the better the cake, right? And for me, that source is always the divine. It's like the how. When I start getting tripped up on the how and the when, how am I going to put this together? What are the steps? What's the structure? What's the strategy? I always go here first before I go here. I'm like, hold on a second. Let me check in with this. And let me make sure I have clear directions, clear instructions. And then I go. And then I trust. If he says it's 30 minutes, it's 30 days, it's a month, I don't know, I'll tell you when to pull it out. Then it's like, okay, I trust the master chef, right? So I hope I left you guys with some great things to munch on this morning. But I really wanted to share how I'm shifting out of this language and I'm working with my clients to shift out of this language. We are artists, right? We are definitely artists. We allow inspiration to flow through us. We get these amazing ideas in our businesses. I tell you, every single thing that I've written over the last few months, every single thing that I'm putting out, I mean, I haven't written one thing without first consulting here and just opening myself up to say, okay, what do you want people to know? Let it flow through me. I'll be the vessel. I make sure I'm clean, right? I make sure that I'm clean. I make sure I'm present. I make sure I'm quiet. And I can rest in the knowing that it is already done. I can rest. When you operate like this, you can rest in the knowing that the flowers are going to sprout at the right time, and they all will grow at different lengths, at different times. And in the end, it's all just going to be perfect. They can't all be the same color, the same height. We get all tripped up comparing them. Well, why is this one more better than this? What about this? I was, again, walking with someone else, and she was just like comparing this person that she's dating to her ex. And I said, they're just, why are we doing that? They both have their unique magic that they brought to your life, you know? And then the more you do that, the more you miss the gifts of both relationships. What if they're both perfect and they both showed up at the perfect time to be the perfect teachers and the perfect guides? And these slight shifts make a huge difference in our energy. And your energy is one of your greatest resources. I mean, it really is. And one of the games of the shadow, one of the games of the darkness is to drain your energy so that you can't execute on your mission. If I can distract you, if I can pull you off course, if I can throw energy sucking activities, people, things into your life and you allow them into your portals, I just won, right? You must become relentless. If you're really in this life to be to contribute at a high level, like I'm talking to men and women of God who know that they're here to create a new kingdom on this earth. We're here on this earth at this time during this whole, stuff that's going on. There is a great reset going on. Absolutely. There's a lot of things happening in the world, and the world needs leaders right now who are super grounded, who have deep roots, who have rich soil, and who understand in divine timing, and who can trust the process and hold a space for other people as they're freaking out around them. And I believe that a huge part of this is going to be us coming back to the Father, which is God, and also the masculine and the feminine coming together back in beautiful union and as husband and wife or beautiful relationship partnerships and start to co-create together. And it's epic, and it's already happening. So where am I playing God? Where am I still putting all this pressure on myself saying, I'm the creator of my reality, I'm the creator of my reality, and you're just freaking exhausted, stressed out, in pressure, trying to overwater your garden, trying to sit there and stare at it impatiently, pushing, forcing it? Where can you start to cultivate? I would love to hear from you guys. If you were the cultivator of this amazing garden, cultivator of your mind, cultivator of your heart, cultivator of your body, cultivator of your atmosphere, cultivating your home, your relationships, what changes just by changing that language? And lastly, if this is something that you're like, "Ooh, I really like, I resonate with what you're saying," I always have opportunities for people to work with me. And right now, I'm about to start a roundtable initiation. It's a 6-month journey for men who are ready to really rise as kings. And I'm talking about really rise as kings and cultivate their kingdom. That means epic relationship, epic business, epic body, but we're working on the man, the inner man. And the sisterhood is for the women. The sisterhood is for the women who are done being a princess, who know they're a queen, and they are ready to reestablish their beautiful feminine essence, their relationship with the masculine, and start to kick ass. And thank you for being here with me. Have an amazing day.